Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light Photoshop quick tip. Today we've got a nice easy one to do, one that you'll actually find that comes in very handy more often than you would think. So many times when we're photographers, we try to make everything right in the camera, and sometimes we make mistakes. And in this case, this is a nice portrait of a young lady, but we cropped it in the camera too tight. When we want to turn around and do an 8x10, and we set the ratio for an 8x10 crop, you see we're going to wind up chopping portion of the portrait. Okay, and that's not what we want. We want to had an 8x10, but we want it originally as composed. Okay, so what we need to do is actually make the picture wider. And normally this would be a big hassle to try to make the canvas wider. It can be done, but it's a lot of work. Now with the latest version of Photoshop CC, I'm running right now the 2020 version of Photoshop, and it has built-in Sensei technology, which is actually quite remarkable. It will actually allow us to expand the canvas of this picture, and then Adobe Sensei will analyze the background of the picture, and it will automatically say, let me try to calculate and fill in the missing pieces for you. And like I said, it's quite amazing. Well, so let me show you how to do it. We have our crop tool selected, and I'm just going to increase it past the picture. I'm going to say we'll go about there. Now, you don't want to go too far, right? You don't want to overdo. All right. That should probably give me just enough room on the left and right. Now, in order to activate the Sensei technology, we need to activate Content Aware. Little checkbox right up here. We're going to check that box, and when we do, we're going to then commit, and Adobe is going to analyze the photo. It's going to increase the canvas, and it's then going to fill it instantly as best as it could possibly do. Now, if you look at that, that's pretty darn amazing. Adobe's Sensei technology did a really good job of expanding the canvas for us. And now that we have the canvas expanded, we can come in on the crop tool. We can set our ratio to our 8x10, and look at this, we're not going to lose any of the portrait now on an 8x10 crop. Pretty darn amazing technology. So there you go. That's pretty darn impressive. Okay. Will it work for every photo, every time, everywhere? No, of course not. If you have really complicated or very busy backgrounds, it may not work as clean. But this is pretty darn amazing. Let me go ahead and show you one more. Okay. Here's a photo, and again, the photographer, whether he was trying to be creative or whatever, did an awkward crop in camera. And so let's see if we can do something with this. Now, you notice this one's here a pretty intricate background. What we'll see what we can do. Again, we'll take the crop tool, clear it out, and let's get this up here. And again, I want to widen the canvas. This time I'm only going to widen it on the left. Okay. And so now, again, make sure Content Aware is filled. And we're going to go ahead and let the Sensei do the thinking here. And lo and behold, isn't that amazing? I mean, it did a pretty darn good seamless job. If I was picky, I could come in and, work the clone brush and remove any repeating patterns. But it's done a remarkable job, and now I can come in and crop the photo the way I like. All right, so now I can come in and select my ratio of 8 by 10, and look at that. I mean, I don't have to lose any of it. I could actually do it, and I now have her in the center of the frame. That's pretty darn amazing. Okay, let's do one more. All right. Okay, again, same principle. The photographer, when they took the photo, they cropped it a little too tight. And now it's an awkward pose, awkward frame, and it's not as flexible for us to use for other purposes. So, let's see if the crop tool will save us. We'll come in, we'll do the clear, and we will make it in here. And this one, I'm going to increase the width again, and the width again, and again, making sure content aware is filled. Let's go ahead and see what Sensei will do. Churning. The more complicated the background, of course, the how long it takes to process. This one's a very busy background, a lot of detail going on, so it's got to think. But still, I've been very impressed with it. I've done this thing now on dozens and dozens of photos, and the results are absolutely astonishing. Now, this one, it didn't do as good a job as it did on the other two photos. And that's mainly because I've got repeating patterns here in the background and so forth. But this is something I can work with. Okay, I can now take the clone tool and, remove some of the repeating patterns and blend in, and I have a workable pattern. So I turn around and do a 4 by 8 by 10 crop, and there I am. And I have my 8 by 10 crop. It's much more. I have a little more room, a little more leeway, and it works out well. So again, 3 examples on how we can save a portrait after the fact that it was cropped in camera too tight when the picture was taken, and now we can actually use the photo for other purposes. All right, so I hope you found this useful, and until next week, you guys take care.